What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another math puzzle. In this one, the question is as follows. Make numbers 1 through 20 using only 4 sixes and the following operation. So you can only use these, but you can add them in as liberally as you'd like to for any of these numbers. Just no additional numbers can be added. Hit that pause button and see if you can figure it out. When you're ready, hit play, and I'll give you the explanation. So for this challenge in particular, there's going to be multiple solutions, multiple ways to get these numbers. I'm going to show you what comes to mind first and foremost when I'm problem solving in real time. Let's go. So the easiest one to start off with is 12, in my opinion. That's the one that's first coming to my mind because all I have to do is add right here and right here, right? That's 6 plus 6 is 18, minus 6 is 12, boom, done. Next, I'm going to go to 2. We can do 6 divided by 6, which is 1. I can also do 6 divided by 6 here, which is 1. 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. Now, you might say, well, don't we need parentheses? I can add parentheses if I want, but we don't necessarily need them because order of operations will dictate that this and this happen first and then the addition happens last. So there you go, 2. Next, we're going to go to 11. I'm going to say 6 plus 6, which is 12. Then I'm going to say 6 divided by 6, which is 1. Again, this is going to happen first because of order of operations. And last but not least, I'll do 12 minus 1 gives me 11. Boom, done. Similarly, since I got 11 this way, I can do 13 the same way. I can say 6 plus 6 and then create a 1 here with division, but instead of subtracting, now I'm going to add. Next, I'm going to go to 18. We're going to say 6 plus 6 is 12. And I need to add one more 6, right? But I got 2 6s here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply these 6 times 6, which is 36. And then since square root is allowed, I'm going to take the square root of these guys, right? 6 times 6 is 36. Square root of that is 6. 6 plus 6 plus 6 therefore gives me 18. To get to 20, this one is going to be a little bit tricky, and what I'm going to use here is factorial. That's the exclamation mark. A factorial is a multiplication countdown. So for example, if I start with 6 factorial, right? That's 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. So 1 times 2 is 2, times 3 is 6, times 4 is 24, times 5 is 120, times 6 is 720. So 6 factorial is equal to 720. Now what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to divide that by 6. Okay, well, 720 divided by 6 is 120. So now we're at 120 right here. I'll just write that down so we know. And then last but not least, to get to 20, all I need to do is divide it by 6. So once again, I know that I can turn 2 6s into 1 6 by this method right here, right? Taking the square root of the product. So if that turns into a single 6, now I can divide by that 6 and we're left with 20, boom, done. To get 1, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do plus 6, which is 12, minus 6, which brings us back to 6, and minus 6 again, which brings us back to 0. So you might say, well, why are we going to 0 if we're trying to get 1? Well, the beauty of 0 is there's a special trick with factorials. 0 factorial is actually 1. So that's how you do it. Now we're going to jump to 7 because we can do 6 times 6, which is 36, plus 6, which is 42. And then we're going to take this entire value and we're going to divide it by 6. And the reason why I'm using parentheses here is because I want to make sure this addition happens before any division, right? So 36 plus 6, 42 divided by 6 is 7, boom, done. Now to try and get to 6, I can do something pretty nifty. I can do 6 minus 6, which is 0, plus 6 times 6, which is 36, and then take the square root of that. So 0 plus the square root of 36 is indeed 6, boom, done. Now to get to 3, what I can do here is I can add 6 plus 6. That gives me a nice 18, and then I'm going to take that sum and divide it by 6. Once again, we need the parentheses here to redirect the order of operations, make sure the addition happens before the division. That's how you do it, done. Now to get to 5, I can say 6 times 6, which is 36, minus 6, which is 30. Again, I'm going to throw this in parentheses like so, because 30 divided by 6 gives us 5. Now we're going to move along to 14. I'm going to go back to what I knew about factorials, or what I learned about factorials when I did number 20, right? 6 factorial is 120. If I divided that by 6, I'm gonna get 120. If I divide by 6 again, and I don't need any parentheses because we're gonna go in order from left to right with the division. Divide by 6 again, I get 20. And then if I minus 6, I'm left with 14. Now coming back to 8, what I can do is I can add 2 6s together, right? 6 plus 6 is 12. Then I'm gonna take that sum, put it in parentheses, and I'm gonna divide by 6. 12 divided by 6 is 2 plus 6 gives me 8. Boom, done. Now we come to 10. This is a very interesting one. So for 10, what we can do is we can start with 6 factorial, right? Which again, we know to be 720. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use these 3 6s as follows. I am going to add these two together, and then I'm gonna take that sum and I'm gonna multiply it by 6. 12 times 6 is 72. And the cool part about this is now I can again put another set of parentheses, right? Say that is 12, right? So we know we're doing the addition first and the multiplication, and then 720 divided by 72 gives us 10. So that's it. This is how you can generate those numbers. Now, as for 19, 17, 16, 15, 9, and 4, I do not believe they are possible, or at least I couldn't come up with a way. So if you do have a way to solve for those missing numbers, post those descriptions in the comments below. But this is what I got for you. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please click that like button. If you want to see more math puzzles on the regular, make sure to click subscribe. Thank you guys so much for joining, and I'll see you in the next video. Take it easy.